Okay, hello everybody. Good morning from here in Plymouth in the southwest of England. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you may be. Elsewhere in the world, you're very welcome to this first of the University of Plymouth International College's pre-departure webinars for new students joining us in September of this year. So just a few weeks away now, and we very much look forward to welcoming you. During this session, we'll go through some introductions. We'll meet the team. We'll talk about the student hub services, about our accommodation provision. We'll go through all of those important dates. So last date for UK arrival, when teaching starts, last enrolment dates, all of that kind of thing. We'll talk you through how to get to Plymouth once you've reached the UK. Talk to you about visa issues, the medical centre on campus, go through our induction week activities and describe those to you. The semester dates, as I mentioned, we'll introduce you to the University of Plymouth Students' Union. We'll also tell you all about our social media presence so that you can keep up with us outside of this call and you can get all of the latest news about what's happening in the college and on the university campus. So that's our agenda for the next half an hour or so. My name is Tim Gutzel. I'm Director of Marketing and Admissions for UPIC. And we have several of my colleagues here on the call who I will ask to introduce themselves. So, Toby, if you could start and then pass on to the rest of the team.
Yes, absolutely. Morning, everyone. My name is Toby Joseph Johnson. As you can see on the slide here, I am the Student Experience Manager at the University of Plymouth International College. And I'll pass you to my fellow colleague, Jake Hutton.
Yep, so hello everyone, my name is Jake Hutton and I'm one of the Student Experience Officers here at UPIC. So I will pass over to our colleague Izzy.
Hi everyone, I'm Izzy Calloway. I'm one of the admissions officers here at UPIC. So I'm on the call today to help in case you have any questions with your offer or your visa or your CAS and to show you around the city as well.
Thanks,
I will
Izzy.
pass over to Amber.
Oh, thanks, Izzy. Hi, everyone. Yes, my name's Amber. I'm the Marketing and Student Recruitment Coordinator here at the college. It's great to see you all here. We can't wait to welcome you in Plymouth itself. And is that everybody, Tim?
Do we have Matthias?
Yes, I believe so.
Wonderful. Here's Matthias.
Thank you, Amber. My name is Matthias Shortcook. I'm the college principal. Absolutely delighted to have you on the call and welcome you to Plymouth. Looking forward to seeing you all in person. And I think that's everyone. So I'm going to hand back to Tim to kick things off.
Thanks, team. Moving on. So back to Toby to introduce the UPIC Student Experience team.
Yes, so thank you, Tim, and thanks, team, for the introduction. Like I said earlier, my name is Toby Joseph Johnson. I'm the Student Experience Manager here at the University of Plymouth International College. My role and my team are here to make sure that your journey with us from the moment you arrive right through to when you progress to the university is as smooth, enjoyable, and rewarding as possible. Our team is here to support you both inside and outside of the classroom. That means helping you settling in, connecting with others, making the most of our activities and events, and feeling at home in Plymouth. We know that making a journey across to a new country is a big step, very exciting, but also can be nerve-wracking, and we're here to make sure that you are supported as possible. Today, as Tim mentioned, we'll be covering all the information you need to know before you travel, so you arrive confident, prepared, and ready to start this new chapter. We can't wait to meet you, and we've also got an amazing new building, which you can see myself and my colleagues standing outside of, that you will be enrolling with us, hopefully in the next month or so. Any questions, please feel free to reach out to one of the team. Our contact details will be shared on the next slide.
Who are all those fine people in that picture then, Toby?
Yes, you've met one of them earlier when he introduced us, Jake Hutton. And we also have Dr. David Jones, who's our Director of Student and Academic Services. So he leads us as a team. And we also have the lovely Anita, who deals with all your academic queries. We're all here to support you and give you that really good soft landing.
I wonder what hours I could contact you during, Toby. Oh, look, there's a slide.
To be fair, you can contact us at any time via email, studentexperience@upic.plymouth.ac.uk. There's so many time zones that you are all at the moment, so feel free to drop any questions or queries in there. Our office opening hours, though, are from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. You also have the option to give us a telephone call. So if any of you want to take a picture of the slide or take a screenshot, please feel free to do so. But there will be another contact information page at the end of this presentation.
There's an emergency phone number as well, isn't there, Toby, for out of hours that we can share with students once they've enrolled?
Absolutely. And that emergency phone number also has WhatsApp available. So feel free to drop us a WhatsApp. You know, technology is really here and now, and we can use it to our advantage. So we can drop locations to where we are. If you have any queries outside of working hours, maybe you're at a train station or your flight's been delayed, please feel free to drop us a message. At the end of the presentation, there'll be a contact page with all this information available to you.
I should have said, I realise we're already giving you loads of information. We will stop regularly to give you the chance to ask questions. If you'd like to drop questions in the chat, you can certainly do that. We'll go through some frequently asked questions at the end, but we'll also be sure to leave plenty of time at the end for any other questions you have. So yeah, do it. This session is for you. So make sure you get all of your questions answered.
Thank you, Tim. So the slide that you're looking at is the university library as well as the student hub. So you have the benefit as a UPIC student to have two student services supporting you, one in-house in the college and also one at the university. So at the university, the student hub is located centrally on campus, and they have various teams ranging from the student learning services to the welfare team, counseling, student center, and immigration. So most of your queries can be answered here. In the careers department as well, as you can see in the background there, they assist students who want to apply for jobs. They want you to take a look at your CV and also do some interview prep. So everything you need is available here in Plymouth to take you going forward. Campus map is very interesting. Like I said, we've just really moved across centrally, so we're a lot closer into campus. We're in 19 Portland Villas, where that star is in the middle there. We are located right next to the Vice Chancellor's office. We are also at the southwest of the UK, as you can see in the map on the left there. So for most of you arriving at international airports, maybe around Heathrow, in London, you can travel down to Plymouth, and the train station is right opposite us on campus as well.
You get a bit of an idea from that map, but what we're going to do now is going to be much more exciting. Izzy is going to take us on a drone flyover of the university and the city. Thanks, Izzy.
Okay, can you see?
That's working fine.
Let's start from the beginning, go straight in. So, as Toby said, we've just kind of moved. So let me show you where we are firstly. So we are here in this building here. This is the train station just behind us. Just here, so it's literally like a 1-minute walk behind us. So any of you guys that's arriving into the train station, you can come straight to the college and we can tell you where to go from there. Also, it's great for if you want to go for weekend trips or day trips to anywhere. You can get to pretty much everywhere you need to get to within the UK actually from that airport with some changes. And then around us, we have all the different university buildings. Obviously, I won't go into each individual one, but we've got things like our own gym on campus. Obviously, you've got the Students' Union, the library, different cafes, everything you need there. So from day one of being a UPIC student, you also have access to all of the university facilities. And obviously, you're right in the middle of campus. So it's all around you here. Even up until this area here that I'm showing you with the reservoir. This is our reservoir cafe. Around this area, this is all the campus still. We have nice little table tennis there that you can play, like maybe on your lunch break or something. The Students' Union here, right in the middle. So all of this area, this is all the campus. Just just to give you an idea. And then across the road here, we have Drake Circus Shopping Centre. So this is kind of like a hub for shopping in the southwest. So people will travel to this big shopping mall that we have. And then one of my favorite parts of Plymouth, let me just show you. So I'll take you there now. Whoop. So this area is called Plymouth Hoe. This is Smeaton's Tower Lighthouse. You might have seen this on some of our brochures or something maybe, so you might recognise that. So yeah, as you can see, just absolutely lovely views there, and see out to the sea. This area here is quite empty in this picture, but usually this is actually quite full of students. So maybe this was filmed really early in the morning. But this whole area here is great just of an evening. You'll see in the summer students maybe sat out having picnics, barbecues, fish and chips, playing ball games, or maybe playing like cricket or something like this, riding their bicycles. This swimming pool here is also like a freshwater swimming pool. It's actually just been renovated, so it's looking really nice and fresh, just like it is in the picture there. This is great. You can go and sit and chill there. To get to this area from the university, so you can see back here, this is the city centre campus. It's around 10 to 15-minute walk. It's really not too far. So anywhere you need to get to within Plymouth is all within really easy walking distance. So it means you're saving lots of money. You're not having to get any, trains or buses anywhere that you need to go, or taxis around to get you to different campuses. Some students do have bicycles, but it's not really necessary. You can kind of just walk everywhere. I'll take you over here as well to the marine station. So this is Sutton Harbour around here. We have one of the university's kind of buildings here for all of our marine students will be based down here, or at least have lessons down here. Just here we have the National Marine Aquarium. And as you can see, just a really nice area as well to be around.
Izzy, whilst you're there and we can see the university campus, I think it's very funny, but I think two Isabellas are better than one, and we're joined by our colleague Isabella Francis, who's on campus and who's here to talk to some of you about a new campaign called Taste of Home that will be launching hopefully very soon. Isabella, the floor is yours.
Thanks. So I work for the catering team. So on campus, when you arrive, there will be 10 cafes, sort of in total. But on the actual campus itself, there's 8, which is super easy to get around. They're all very conveniently located, and we are quite affordable because we don't charge our students don't have to pay VAT for certain like hot food and hot drinks and things like that, so it's cheaper than going into town for some things. So on campus you've got a great mix. We've got like a pizza place, we got like fresh sandwiches, there's even Starbucks coffee, cooked breakfasts, so we have lots of great traditional food and drink for you to enjoy. But something we'd like to explore a bit further this year and sort of work with the Taste of Home is perhaps working or understanding from students what sort of food and drink you may like to still bring to campus, and then whether we can work with our colleagues and our head chefs and see if that's something we can recreate on campus, whether it be like a special for various like holidays or something that's a bit more permanent. So we're open to ideas and we'd love to hear any suggestions you have. So yeah, that's all I've got.
Thank you so much.
Great.
Thank you so much, Isabella. And yes, everyone can feel free drop their entries or any top ideas to student experience at upic.plymouth.ac.uk. Thanks, Isabella.
Yeah, that's really great. Thank you so much.
And Toby, we do have lots of different, I'm not sure if this is in the later slides, but we do have lots of different international like supermarkets and things as well within the city, don't we?
Yes, absolutely, we do. There's a street very close to campus that has various international restaurants from around the world. So there's something for everyone. And it's very nice to have Isabella from the catering team to mention that, they are trying to move this across to on campus as well. Really affordable food available to you.
talking about food, this is one of my favourite places to go for food as well. We have Royal Yard here, so all this is actually made up of different restaurants in there. So we have like Wagamama's and burger places, and then on this green area here we have, I think, is it the first Sunday of every month, Tim? We have a food festival there. So
Yeah, first Sunday of every month, isn't it?
Yeah. So in this area here, and then actually if you just go, I can't show you on the map, but through this little arch here that goes out to the sea as well, so you can go open water swimming there, or you can go paddleboarding, do different water sports. So yeah, lots to do there. Have I missed anything from the campus tour, team?
I don't think so. I think the main points are that it's a city centre campus. The college is right on the edge, next to the Vice Chancellor's office on the university campus. You can walk from the university through the city centre to the waterfront, to that green area as you showed you. That's a short walk you can even do at lunchtime. And just inland from the city of Plymouth, there is Dartmoor as well, which is a renowned area of outstanding natural beauty. So we've got something for everybody. So we've got an internationally diverse city with students from 120 different countries, foodstuffs from around the world, in this great location, though, where you've got some great countryside inland. This was the scene for Steven Spielberg's Warhorse, exactly. Yeah. So you may even have seen some of this at the cinema. So great scenery, landscape inland, clean air, city which is very compact and manageable, and great value as well for accommodation, and a waterfront location.
Yeah, with little to no transportation costs, it's important to mention. You will not need to take a bus to come into college or a taxi. Everything is within walkable distance, and we also have some bikes that have been set up in and around the city that students can use and have access to get around.
And then in addition to Dartmoor, we also have like these really nice beaches. So I've just did a little quick Google search to give you an idea of some of the nice beaches that you can go to, either after college or on the weekends. And this is feedback from students that we get, that's something that they say like they love most about living in the area, just the ability to, after a busy week of lessons, to be able to switch off and to go and hear the sea and to be by the seaside. So I think you've got the best of everything being in Plymouth. So you've got the being in the city centre campus and the kind of hustle and bustle of that, and good nightlife and things as well. Lots of restaurants, lots of things. We've got like 3 different cinemas, lots to do after college or after university. But then you've also got the shopping, you've got the beaches and the moors, like best of everything. And I think that's it. I'm going to stop sharing.
Thank you, Izzy. Thank you, Isabella. What are you seeing now? Have we gone back to the original slides or not?
I can't see the original slides.
No. Okay. While I try and get that moving again, let's just pause to ask if you have any questions at this point. Anything you'd like to know, anything we've shown you about the city. We've talked about the student service, student experience team. Anything you would like to ask, Bo, before we move on?
Please feel free to use the chat function.
Okay, let's move on. We hope you've already started to think about your accommodation booking and all the different options, but Jake is going to take you through this now with some important information. Over to you, Jake.
Perfect. Thank you, Tim. So yeah, accommodation in Plymouth. As Tim said, we hope that you're already in the process or have already sorted out your accommodation for next year. But if you haven't, then this is a quick guide into how to sort that out. So the accommodation in general is really, really good in Plymouth. So most of the accommodation available to you is a 5 to 10 minute walk away from campus. That means that there won't be a lot of travelling at all to get to your classes and get to the city centre, etc. There are a variety of different rooms available as well. So you can get ensuite rooms, which means that there is a bathroom facility connected to your room. You can also get various different size rooms of houses with different people, or if you prefer to be by yourself, there is studios available as well. Each accommodation provided by Cleverlets, which is an accommodation provider, has a complimentary bedding pack for every student, which is really good just to help your moving in period just to be a little bit more easier for you. They also offer moving day help as well. So we'll get into that in a slide or two's time, but the actual moving day and a process is really, really easy. And as you can see on the screen, here's some stats for you just to confirm that you've made the right choice coming to Plymouth and the accommodation is really, really good. So there is, we're a top 2 UK Young University, top 5 for UK Marine Teaching and Research, and top 15 safest UK city. So it's a great university in the city as well as also very, very safe.
How can I apply, Jake?
Well, good thing you asked. So as you see at the bottom right corner, there is the online application form, which you can find on the UPIC website under accommodation. So click that and fill out the form, and then it is a really, really easy process.
And what happens next?
Brilliant. So what happens next? So we have a 5-step process. So when you've filled out your accommodation form, a member of the Clever Let's team will email with acknowledgement. Same with a student experience team. So you'll get an email from me or Anita confirming that your form has been filled out. You will then get given a variety of different choices for accommodation. They can be different size rooms, different size houses, etc. And when you're happy with the booking, you will confirm the booking and they will have received it. Then you will get sent something called a tenancy agreement, which is important to read and fill out. When that has been signed and the deposit for your property has been received from Clever Let's, it's really important to do your right to rent. So you should, when that's completed, it's just a simple process of just coming to Plymouth, going to Clever and collecting your keys. So it's really quite simple.
Thanks, Jake. Toby, once I've landed in the UK, how do I get to Plymouth?
Well, I think there are various ways of getting to Plymouth, but the most important thing that we need to convey as a message to the students is that they shouldn't leave the airport and jump straight into the first taxi they see. This will increase your costs significantly. So it's very important that you make these arrangements in advance. You can do so by visiting the link on the website right in front of you in the URL highlighted in blue. And you can book our airport pickup service that's available to you and available to cancel up until 48 hours before you travel. The cost ranges from about £255, and that's from any international airport. So from Heathrow, obviously, it's a little bit more expensive, but the closer you are to Plymouth, the cheaper that would cost. So you can fly into Bristol, you can potentially fly into Exeter, which is only an hour away, or Newquay, which is about an hour and a half. So airport pickup services are available to you via taxi through the in-house Plymouth service.
Are there other ways to get to Plymouth, Toby?
Yes, absolutely. The other ways are through train and through coach. The train tickets can be booked in advance or on the day. You can take a Heathrow Express straight to London Paddington station and then take a direct train to Plymouth. You can also book the coach, which is the most affordable version of getting to Plymouth. It is a little bit longer, so about 5 hours, give or take, but you should be able to get a single ticket for around £30. The university itself is offering a coach service for £30 on the 8th and 9th of September. So that's during the orientation week when we will be expecting students. To book that, please feel free to scan that QR code and get some more information about that. So that's a group airport transfer available by the university.
Thanks, Toby. What about your e-visa? How does that work?
So for some of you on this call, you would have received a notification that your visa application has been successful. With that notification comes with a set of instructions of how to register for your e-visa and create your UKVI account. If you are having any problems with this, after the call, we can book a meeting to discuss and go over the next steps to take. But essentially, when you've created the e-visa, it's linked to your passport. So it has your passport number linked to your visa. This is all available on the internet. When you go across to immigration, they just scan your passport and they are aware that you have a valid student visa to study in the UK. Okay. The e-visa status can be used for a variety of things. It can be used to prove that you can study. It can be used for right to rent, for you to actually rent an apartment. It can also be used to prove your right to work. So for most of you on this call, I think everyone actually, you are limited to about 20 hours working hours a week. So this is how you would prove to your potential employer during your part-time job that you are limited to those hours. So it's very important that you stick to the restrictions. You can obtain your code when you've scanned that QR code that's available on the presentation to get some more information.
Toby, if I fall ill, will I have a long way to go to find any help?
Not at all, because we have a medical center available on campus, but also we employ, we ask all students to please register with their local GP. There's a GP available within at least 1 or 2 miles of all their home addresses when they come and study with us. So registering at the GP is very important because you can have the proof in case you're ill that you can provide to the college to get extenuating circumstances if that situation occurs. But it's also good to have that service available to you if you're feeling unwell and want to, feel a lot better.
Thank you. Moving on, Matthias, would you like to take us through the next couple of slides which deal with dates and enrolment and that kind of thing?
Yeah, I'll be happy to, Tim. So can't wait to meet you all in person when you arrive. We start enrolling our students on the 8th of September. So if you're on an undergraduate pathway, so essentially anyone apart from pre-master students, we can't wait to welcome you from the 8th of September. And we open our offices and we'll be ready to enroll from about 9 o'clock in the morning. And on the 15th of September, we'll start the enrolment for our postgraduate students. So if you're signed up to do a pre-master's course, that's when we'll welcome you. We've already talked a little bit about documents, but we'll need a set of different documents to make sure that your enrolment process goes lovely and smooth on that day. So you'll need to bring your passport with you. You'll need to bring your e-visa or be able to show us your e-visa. We'll need a UK phone number if that's relevant. We'll need a UK address and we'll need emergency contact details. So that's often, perhaps a guardian that you're staying with or somebody like that. But we'll need emergency contact details, and that will need to include email, phone number, and address for 2 people. So that will be important information that we need. And it's really important to know that we need to enroll you before you can attend any lessons or your welcome talk, because that's an important part of the process so that we know that you're officially one of us, one of our lovely students, and you can start your adventure with us. So talking of welcome talks, there's a few talks to start things off, and the first important ones for your diary are Friday the 12th of September. So on Friday the 12th of September, we'll have some talks. I'll be there to greet you all at 9:30 in the morning. I'll be just doing an introduction, having a chat with you, and really wanting to hear a little bit about where you're from and your experiences as well, so we can start to understand our new community. At 10 o'clock, Dr. Jones, our very own Dr. Jones, will be talking about the academic experience. So he'll be taking you through some of the really important information, things that you need to know about your studies and what it's like to study in the UK in higher education, as well as tips, hints and guidance from his experience as a student and from his many years of experience looking after and guiding international students on successful journeys to achieve what they're here to do. And then finally at 11:30, our marvelous student experience team, so Toby, Jake and Anita, who you've yet to meet, will be there. They'll be talking about the student experience, our journey here, why our students are so happy and have such a marvelous experience is because we know that their studies are as important, the things that they do outside of their studies are as important as their studies. So there's lots of marvelous things you can do, lots of adventures you can go on, clubs, societies you can join. So we look forward to explaining those there. And the thing that's perhaps not on this talk, but stay tuned for, is we'll probably do a little walking tour of Plymouth in the afternoon, and that Dr. Jones will be leading as well. But that detail will come later. And then finally, just a refresher, some of the important dates for you all to be aware of. Your accommodation starts upon arrival. Tenancy fees will be payable to your accommodation provider. And if you do not make an accommodation booking, please be aware that you'll need to make arrangements or be prepared to stay in a hotel or guest house, and contact our student experience team if you've got any questions around that. Orientation week, which is essentially kind of enrollment week, and all the kind of information that we and moments that we do to kind of get you prepared for your studies, those start on the 8th of September, like I just said, for undergraduate programs. And if you're a pre-master student, we'll start on the 15th of September. All of our classes start for our undergraduate students on the 15th of September. And if you're on a pre-master's program, your classes will start on the 22nd of September. And in conjunction with that, the last day of enrolment, so the last day of our enrolment window, is the 26th of September for undergraduate and 22nd of September for postgraduate. But we strongly encourage everyone to make as early as possible enrolment so that you don't miss anything. And accommodation fees, which I think I kind of mentioned at the start of that, but just to re-emphasize, the balances are due as soon as you arrive in UPIC, if that's relevant for you. So that's our important dates. And I think I'm going over to Jake. Is that right, Tim?
Just before we move on, Matthias, how important would you say it is for students to be here for the orientation week? So, if you have a challenge finding a flight, it's okay to turn up at the end of a second undergraduate teaching week, isn't it?
We want you to attend as soon as possible. We've been here for a very long time. We're very ready to support our students, and some students do turn up at the very last days of enrolment. That's not a problem. We've got a structure for it. We're ready for it if we need to. But as soon as you're able, we strongly encourage you to attend. The sooner you're here, the sooner you can start, the more of the starting experience you can have, and the best possible start to your studies you can have. But yes, it is possible to turn up in the last days of enrolment and progress, but we just encourage you to be here as soon as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. The orientation weeks do offer great value. There's lots of useful information there. You can start to find your way around the college, the university, the city of Plymouth. You'll start to make friends, and you'll really hit the ground running. So as Matthias says, we do allow some later enrolment, but it's a huge advantage to be here for the start of the orientation week and go through all of the sessions that we provide for you. Jake, you're almost of student age. Tell us about the student union.
Thank you, Tim. The student union is a really, really important part of your student journey at university. So a little bit about the student union, and then we'll talk about the people on the screen. So the student union is the sort of community hub for the university. So they offer a variety of different events, different supports, and most importantly, they are the home of all the clubs and societies at the university. So if you're interested in any sport, any particular hobbies, any different communities, then please have a look on the Student Union website, and you're able to join the clubs and societies, and I cannot recommend it enough. So going on to these people, so these are sabbatical officers. So these are the people who are in charge. These are elected roles. Students elect their sabbatical officers, and these are students or former students who are now in charge of different sectors of the uni. So there's a new rebranding for the sabbatical officers, so now they're presidents of the different schools. So whatever course you do, if you have a look at the three presidents of the Faculty of Arts, Humanities and Business, Faculty of Health, and Faculty of Science and Engineering, one of these sabbatical officers will be in charge of your faculty. Most importantly, though, the president didn't do. He's in charge of the whole student union, and he was in fact a former UPIC student himself. So he is really the potential that you can get out of not only going to UPIC but also getting really involved with the student union at university.
Jake, isn't it now the case that since UPIC was set up, exactly half of the university's presidents have been former UPIC students?
That is correct, Tim. Yes.
It's great testimony, isn't it, to how well our students are integrated into the university community and how they go on to take on positions of great responsibility like that?
Yeah, definitely. So the president role at the student union is evidence enough of just a ceiling that you can have as a UPIC student. And it's definitely, Tim.
Thanks, Jake. And then Amber, would you like to take us through our social media, please?
Yes, of course. So one of the best ways that we can engage with students is via our social media channels. So if you haven't already, please take a look. You can follow us. Our handle on Instagram is at upic_students. So what we do, we like to promote all the things that are happening on campus. So as soon as you arrive, Jake will put on a welcome buffet, which is really popular. So you'll get to know other UPic students. And then we'll showcase what's going on around the city and on campus. So that could be fun social events, cultural events, all kinds of things, so you can feel at home as soon as possible. We also use our channels to talk about academic timetables, important information from the university as well. So we're active on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So do go and have a look. But the most important thing, the best things that we can share is actually content from students themselves. So if you fancy yourself a bit of a photographer, if you're good at making reels, we'd love to share your energy. So if that's something that you'd be interested in, then I'll make myself known as soon as you arrive, and I'd love to collaborate with you.
Great stuff. Thank you, Amber.
Thank you.
Who knows most about grocery shopping in Plymouth?
But that might be me, Tim.
Okay.
So,
do you like your food, Jake?
Let's not go there. Who doesn't? Anyway, there is a variety of different places that you can go shopping for your food in Plymouth. So we'll start with the supermarket. So there's a great diagram there. As a student, the best places to go are definitely Lidl and Aldi. They're on the cheaper level. And as you can see, it goes up. So Waitrose and Sainsbury's are quite expensive, but there is so many great supermarkets for you to go to. There's a variety of different cheap supermarkets as well. So yeah, and then they offer some great food and great ingredients for your shopping. If you want more interesting food and specialist food, the Plymouth Market is a really, really good place to go for some restaurants. I think my favourite is a really, really good Thai restaurant in there. There's various different cultural foods in there as well. So yeah, and as it says, we have a PDF guide to help you plan your weekly shop. So when you arrive and you want a little bit of help with that, come and speak to me and Anita, and we can get that ready for you.
Where's the best jollof in Plymouth, Toby?
That's very debatable, Tim, because we've got about 3 different supermarkets and 2 different restaurants in Plymouth itself. So there's something for everyone. I would say Plymouth Jollof if I was being biased.
There's plenty of choices, though, aren't there? It's great. The population of Plymouth is very diverse. All of the international students and staff in the university. We also have a very large regional hospital, which has a very diverse international staff group. So for a relatively small city, you can find lots of things here. Food, worship facilities, everything which can be familiar from home. So we're getting close to the end now, but what we're going to do as a staff group is go through a series of what we know are frequently asked questions. So we hope this will address any questions you have, but as I said right at the start, we'll leave plenty of time afterwards for any questions which are still outstanding. So let's get going on this. Toby, how can I enroll if I haven't received my visa yet?
You can't, unfortunately. So you have to enroll face-to-face. You can't do so online. So you need to be here in person, having received your e-visa at 19 Portland Villas in Plymouth. Tim, can I live anywhere in the UK when I arrive?
No. We've explained to you what a great place Plymouth is to live. So why would you want to live anywhere else? But seriously, it is a really convenient student city and a great value student city. Much lower accommodation prices than some of the other big cities in the UK. Our classes start at 9 o'clock in the morning and finish at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. You won't necessarily be doing classes all day, every day, but you do need to live somewhere from where you can comfortably commute to the college and be here by 9 o'clock, where you can comfortably commute home after 5 o'clock in the evening. So that could be in Plymouth. That would be ideal. You live close by, loads of accommodation provision from where you just have a 5 or a 10-minute walk. But at most, make sure you are in easy commuting distance of the college so you can get here for your classes.
Tim, another question I potentially had for you would be some participants on this group potentially still hold a conditional or unconditional offer and may not have paid. When are those deadlines?
Izzy, do you have those dates to hand? That's kind of an admissions question. You're on mute.
Yeah, so it all depends what country you're traveling from, because obviously different countries have different visa timescales and things. So we're coming close now to our application deadline. Obviously has passed. You guys have already applied if you've been on the call, but it's kind of a case-by-case basis at the moment in terms of which country you're applying from. So some of you on the call hopefully would have your CAS already. Let me know if you do have any questions in the chat. But yeah, we need to be hold on, what is the, let me just get you the final date up.
Whilst Izzy does that, we are still taking payments for some of you who haven't paid your deposit. Application dates have closed, but we are still taking them on an ad hoc basis. It all depends on the country you're applying for, but please do try and meet all those conditions as soon as possible, is the general message, please.
Great, thank you. Where were we up to?
And I'm just going to share in the chat our official dates for our deadlines. So if you're, this also has some of the enrollment ones that we've shared, but our payment deadline is technically in a couple of days. Like I said, it depends which country you're coming from as to if we can extend that or not, because you might, for instance, have super priority visa application where you're traveling from. So just send us a message, reach out if you have any concerns about not making it on time or not, and we'll work with you to make sure that we can hopefully get you here in time. Okay. There's a question in the chat. You'd like to know if there's a January intake for year one and if we can defer. Yeah, so if you need to defer at all, just send us a message on your study link portal, or if you have an agent that's representing you, ask them to. Or if you have any specific concerns that you're thinking maybe you won't be able to make it for September, we can try to support with that to make sure that you can get here for September. So just reach out to us and let us know.
There isn't a year one available for computing or science students, though. It's only for September, just in case that person was asking that question.
What is the latest time that students can check in with the accommodation student experience team?
So I can pick that one up. The latest time would be, so similarly, Monday to Friday, 8:30 to 5 p.m. Any time outside of that has to be arranged in advance. Sometimes they do leave keys in a key box for you if you're arriving out of hours over the weekend. So it's very important that you inform a member of the student experience team and also the accommodation provider that you are arriving outside working hours of 8:30 to 5 p.m.
Before we go to a couple of the other questions, I just wanted to say in general regarding the whole CAS process. So some of you would have already received your CAS, like I said. For those students that still have an offer, a conditional offer, you don't need to wait until you've met all of your conditions to make a payment. You can make a payment now before the payment deadline, that's fine. If you know that in the next week, for instance, you can meet the other conditions, maybe you have to send us like a personal statement still, or we have to arrange your admissions interview, that's absolutely fine. But in terms of getting your CAS number, you won't get your CAS number until you have made your payment, met all of your conditions, and we have issued you your CAS, okay? Once you've got your CAS number, you need to apply for your visa straight away and let us know that you've done so, because you need to be here, obviously, on time for your lessons.
Thank you. Jake, can I work to fund my studies and accommodation?
So you are more than welcome to work, but you will not be able to work enough to fund your studies and accommodation. So we do recommend that is not your primary source of money. Due to your visa, you can only work 20 hours a week, which there is no job that will be able to give you the amount of money that will be able to fund your fees. Obviously, they can help towards your fees, but we do recommend, sponsor money at something elsewhere to help fund that too. But yes, you're more than welcome to work, and we recommend you work. Toby, when do I have to pay the second instalment of my fees?
So the second installment of your fees are usually due in the week 9 of the semester. I believe that week 9 date is the 14th of November. Next question. Matthias, do I need to buy a laptop to study?
Hi there. Laptops are really helpful, and there are laptop banks. There are ways of borrowing laptops when you're on the university campus. But I think I would strongly encourage all students to think about buying a laptop. It doesn't have to be an incredibly powerful laptop unless you're studying something like computer sciences, where you might be coding. But having something where you can be mobile and study is going to be really helpful, really useful. There's lots of places that you can buy a laptop in the UK, and you can also buy them at really competitive prices and in a cost-effective way when you're here as well, if you haven't already got one. So yes, definitely something we'd encourage, but it's not mandatory. What is the last day I can arrive in the UK? I'm going to go back to Toby for that one. Toby, over to you.
I believe the last day you can arrive depends on the last day you can enroll. So I'll be consistent with that. The last date you can enroll as an undergrad student is the 26th of September, and the last day you can enroll as a postgraduate student is the 22nd of semester. But I would just generally say, because I've put up, as well as my team, have arranged all these amazing activities for you, I want you to arrive on the 8th of September so you can benefit from the whole semester full activities.
Quite
And
right.
if students want to arrive before the 8th of September, obviously they're welcome to, aren't they, Toby, and get settled a bit before. We have a couple of questions in the chat asking, can they arrive before? That's fine, as long as your accommodation's sorted. Feel free to pop in and say hello to us as well. If you are here before then, we'll be more than happy to welcome you and say hello and get to, you can put a face to us in person in Plymouth.
What's the first thing I should do once I arrive at the UK airport, Toby?
The first thing you should do is obviously contact a member of the student experience team just to let us know that you've arrived safely, especially if you're a minor. We'd want to ensure that you're okay and that you're on your journey to Plymouth. I'd also employ you to obviously start arranging your travel arrangements. So deciding, obviously you'd have made plans ahead. Are you taking the train? Are you taking the coach? Make that nice journey across to Plymouth.
I'm just going to answer, live, the student asking, if I don't meet the payment deadline for my course now, can I roll over my unconditional offer to next intake? So it just depends on a couple of things. Like Toby mentioned, firstly, if your course is running in our January or our May intake, so we just need to double check that. And then also to make sure that your documents that we've provided your unconditional offer on the basis of are still in date and valid. They've not expired or anything like that. So it shouldn't be a problem, but we would just need to double check that we can roll it over. So if you want to drop us a message and double check, we'll be happy to let you know.
Thanks, Izzy. So let's just pause again, see if there are any other questions. I think we're up to date with the chat, are we? It's great to have so many questions coming in there.
Yeah, I'm working my way through them now.
I think there was a question a bit earlier on that might be worth us picking up about the dates of leaving. So based on the issue of getting a coach from the airport, the coach the school is offering on the 8th of September being a Sunday and the 9th being a Monday. I think there's a query about that, but Toby, you might be picking that up in the chat just now, but just in case it gets missed with the other messages.
Yes, so the coaches are on those specific dates. I think it's the 8th and 9th, so apologies if it's mixed up whether it's a weekend or a weekday. I did specify that you can also book via the National Express, which in some cases, if you book as early as now or this week, it will be cheaper than that £30 and it will come directly to Plymouth. So you have other options, whichever one works for you. But on the screen on the presentation right now are our contact details. So please take a screenshot if you're attending this with your phone or on your laptop, take a picture of the screen, save those details, then contact us and we'll be happy to answer your query specifically for you as an individual.
I'm just going to drop our admissions email in there as well for you. So any of these specific ones, like regarding your conditional or unconditional offer, if you just drop us a message on there, or if you've got the StudyLink portal or you've got an agent that's representing you, like I said, just drop us a message on there and we can remind you of the status of your offer and any conditions you need to meet.
Great, thank you everybody. You can see our contact details there. You're very welcome to get in touch at any time. We'll leave you with one last image as well of the British Firework Championships, and that is actually happening tonight and tomorrow. Happens every year in Plymouth. So as soon as darkness falls, huge crowd gathers on the Hoe, that green area that Izzy showed you earlier, and fireworks are set off out to sea, and it's a fantastic display, competitive competition between different firework companies. That's just one of the many great things you can experience as a Plymouth student. So I'll just pause again for any last questions. And in the meantime, I'll thank all of my colleagues for their inputs to this session. Thank all of our students as well, our future students, for joining us. Great to have so many of you with us on this call. We hope you found it interesting, that you got lots of useful information, but also that you got a kind of taste and a flavour for what it's like to live and to study in Plymouth. A great place to be, as you will find out yourselves in just a few weeks from now. Any final questions before we wrap up? Okay, great. Then we very much look forward to seeing you very soon. Thanks for joining the call, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks everyone, and goodbye.
Thanks everyone. Safe travels.
Thanks everyone. See you soon.
Nice to see you all.